Hello, and welcome to a special edition News Network. I'm Young Marine Sergeant Major Waters, and I am so excited to share with you all the latest news from across the country. From local junior leadership schools and senior leadership schools full of motivation to the GSSF GLOCK event in Colorado, and ending with 3 amazing Spaces events, Cyberpaths, ALS, and Senior Seminar. Let's check it out and see all the great things Young Marines have been up to this summer.
Hey, welcome Young Marines. We're live here from Mount Vernon, George Washington's estate on the Potomac River for a special summer edition of the Young Marine News Network, appropriately social distance, mask in hand when we get closer than 6 feet, and even the crew behind us on the cameras got their masks on just in case. So yeah, I'm here as always with Young Marine Sergeant Major Abby Waters, our National Young Marine of the Year. Abby, you've been on the road quite a bit, visiting with some of the units, socially distanced, appropriately masked and all that.
Yes,
tell them what all's been going on.
Well, Young Marines, despite the unusual and unique situation that our country has been put in this past couple of months, the Young Marines have still found ways to get their Young Marines out to leadership schools and to encampments so that Young Marines are still able to gain new leadership capabilities throughout the program and be a Young Marine. We've had a lot of different local leadership schools all around the country. I just came from a junior leadership school down in Louisiana with the JPSO Young Marine unit, and it was amazing. All of the students were extremely motivated, ready to go, and excited to learn. The other leadership school over in the Tennessee Regiment, where we had the Division 5 Young Marine of the Year, Young Marine Sergeant Major Nina Stabin, helping out. We also had some public affair correspondents down there with some live video. Let's check it out.
Hello to everybody out there in Young Marine land. I'm Young Marine Sergeant Major Nathaniel Paredes. I'm your Division 2 Young Marine of the Year and Division 2 Public Affairs Correspondent. I'm here at the Division 3 Tennessee Regiment, JLS and SLS. Let's take a moment to look at what's going on out here in Tennessee. So I'm here today with the Division 3 Young Marine of the Year, Young Marine Sergeant Major Massengill. So as a Division Young Marine of the Year, have you been able to connect with Young Marines kind of on a personal level or here at the Tennessee Regiment School?
Oh, absolutely. Myself and the other cadre have had fantastic talks with these Young Marines. We've been able to connect with them on a personal level as well as a Young Marine level. It's just been a great experience all around.
So this is actually my second year attending JLS and SLS, and something that stood out both 2 years ago and here this week is that even though these kids are coming in from all over the country, and so a lot of them don't know each other, they're so willing to just jump in, go hard charging, and lead each other. And it's really motivating to be able to come out and see them so willing to get out and grind.
The main lesson I would bring back to my unit would be to just be more engaged into the situation and help pass by time.
All right, well, thank you very much, Young Marine Corporal, for your time. Young Marines, motivate!
Hello Young Marines, my name is Celeste Hamper, Division 5 Public Affairs Officer. I'm reporting here live from Division 5 Indiana Junior and Senior Leadership School. We started our week off with our physical fitness test and we'll be ending the week with our close order drill evaluation. Throughout the week, our Young Marines are going to step outside of their comfort zone, build friendships, and become better leaders. Check out our Division 5 Instagram and our Division 5 Facebook page for more updates. Signing off, I'm Celeste Hamper.
Hello Young Marines! Today we are at the Colorado Regimental GLOCK event where the Young Marines are helping out with cleaning the shells off the ground for the next shooter, patching up the targets, making sure that they're good to go for the next shooter, and making sure that everybody is safe with their eye protection and ears on.
The units from across the Colorado Regiment, be it Casper Mountain, Mountain View, Poudre River, and Rocky Mountain, all got together to assist at a GSSF event held at High Plains Shooting Range in Eaton, Colorado. Not only did the Young Marines help score contestants, pick up brass, and patch up targets, but they also learned about gun safety along the way. The Young Marines were also cautious in following the mandates for COVID-19 in the state of Colorado by social distancing and wearing masks. Later in the evening, the Rocky Mountain Young Marines hosted an overnight encampment where the Young Marines ate some great food and got some shooting practice in.
I'm having a lot of fun, and also I can't wait for the camp out we're having tonight. gonna be a blast.
At the end of the GSSF event, the Young Marines gathered for 2 other big events happening within the regiment. The Poudre River Young Marines celebrated not only a surprise promotion ceremony, but the retirement of one of their beloved Young Marines, Young Marine Sergeant Major Wilkinson.
It's a little bit of mixed emotions right now. You know, I'm happy that I was able to be in it for as long as I was. You know, not many people get to go, 8 years like I did in the program. I've seen and learned so much from all the leadership schools and all the other Young Marines that I've had come in contact with. And it's been just a real mix of emotions. I'm ready for it to be over, but at the same time I'm not. So I love the program. The program's been there for a lot for me, and I'll miss it, that's for sure.
Backing up a few short weeks, of course, most of the country being locked down for the COVID-19 crisis, we still had a commitment to provide great training for our adult volunteers across the country, and we pivoted to the virtual ALC. Many of our Young Marine volunteers, adult volunteers and Young Marines were able to watch various videos and training and education programs that were put together. And a big hats off to XMM, Pinnacle Productions, and Andy Richardson at GRPR, who helped us put it together with the support of the staff at headquarters, Young Marines, and several key and essential adult volunteers. While a lot of people watched the videos and the training sessions, of course, the key element for this was our annual volunteer awards, our Unit of the Year awards, our Kiki Camarena awards, and of course, announcing our new National Young Marine of the Year, Miss Abby Waters, next to me over here, still 6 feet apart. So, great event, well attended, and a lot of lessons learned that will continue to apply in the future years. I really like the production values we did and the ability to really play up all the great work done by those phenomenal units across the country, our great adult volunteers, and teeing that up on social media before we actually went to the awards ceremony. So we wrapped that up, and we continue to produce great product, great educational learning. And as units started opening up across the country, we're seeing that opening, that creativity, socially distanced, masked, doing things outdoors, still doing some Memorial Day events here and there around the country. The Rose campaign that went down was well participated in. And just some really great imagination and creativity to keep training going, whether it's virtual or appropriately protected in a live setting. But we really had to think hard about when we canceled spaces is what elements could we keep and still stay in compliance with federal, state, and sometimes local guidelines. And we had to pare it down to just a handful of elements. And of course, some of the leadership schools that Ms. Waters referred to. But we also are doing 3 key events for youth and 1 for adults. And the first one we kicked off was Cyber Camp just a couple weeks ago.
Hello, Young Marines. My name is Young Marine Staff Sergeant Everett, and I'm with JPSO Young Marines. All these Young Marines are here this week doing Cyberpaths. Now, Cyberpaths is a school for us to come and learn different drone techniques, different hacking techniques, and all things have to do with cybersecurity.
Super excited to have the Young Marines here. Can't wait to kick this thing off and get it started. I think they're going to learn a lot and have a lot of fun. We've got the kids doing some programming this week in Python, and then they're going to roll into some robotics. And then after robotics, they'll get some cybersecurity training. And then I think what'll probably be the highlight for them is some drone training.
This course will help me because I want to do something in cybersecurity in the military. So I can use what I learned here, and I can use that when I go into the military to figure out what I want to do with my life.
If you would like to come to this event in the future, I would definitely recommend whether you are looking to go into the field or not, because it is overall just a very fun and it's a great learning experience.
This entire week, Young Marines have been exposed to various aspects of cybersecurity, from online programming, back and forth capture the flag events, to programming of robotics and drone systems. And what you see behind me right now is a culminating exercise where they're combining both ground robotics and drones to move in on an objective and then get a good picture of what's on the objective. And they're competing with another team to my left. Just an amazing event. Young Marines have been having a great time all week long, and we're planning on bringing this to you again next summer so we can do more of this with Young Marines across the country. Signing off for Young Marine News Network, hoorah! I really want to thank Headquarters Marine Corps, the Deputy Commandant for Information staff, as well as the people at the Cyber Bytes Foundation, X-Force headquarters, and our staff and young Marine volunteers that came out to help pull this off. It was just a phenomenal event across the board. Now, we had a 1-week break. And even with things slowed down, things really don't slow down that too much for the Young Marines program. 1 week later, and here we are with the Advanced Leaders School. And I'll turn it back over to Young Marine Sergeant Major Waters to tell you how that's been going.
Thank you, sir. Here at Advanced Leadership School, we have had young Marines fly in from all across the country, motivated and ready to learn. Despite the change of scenery and the change of atmosphere, the young Marines have been doing an outstanding job getting to know each other and actually taking in the knowledge that they have been receiving.
And you know, it is a bit of a challenge, but we work through this with the headquarters staff, and the young Marines get what we have to do. You know, on arrival, the hand washing, the sanitizing, the face masks, the wiping everything down, even the headquarters office complex we transformed so we could break the young Marines up into 3 separate groups so that they were spread out throughout the building, and then we flexed them outdoors, indoors, and we had a couple of larger classes that we went to the local hotel so we could spread them out properly throughout the program. So it's just been really working through the issues, but everyone rising to the challenge, and everyone's been doing a good job of all the things we need to do to stay safe throughout the experience, including when we get them on the plane and send them home. But just a phenomenal overview, which leads us here today with ALS. You know, our original plan, obviously, we're going to take everyone into Washington, D.C. The mayor decided a couple of days ago, based on current situation, that they weren't going to let larger groups into town. So we had to pivot and go somewhere we could go. Here in the beautiful grounds of Mount Vernon, as we said, George Washington's estate, one of the founders of the country, and our very first president. This estate provided the opportunity for young Marines to break into 3 groups, stay distant, and be able to look at all the things that went on here, picking up not only a little bit of history, but also a little bit about the founding of our country. And so you can tell that while it's a unique circumstance, we're still pulling off the same great education and training for our senior young Marines so that they will be back and motivated for their units around the country to mentor, inspire, lead, and support our adult volunteers in creating the next generation of young Marine leaders coming up in the next couple of years.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the 2020 National Leadership Academy Advanced Leadership School.
Right. Hey.
You should be extremely proud of every single thing that you have done this week. But no, it doesn't stop here. This is just the next step into your future at your units, your divisions, your careers, your home, anything. Everything that you learned here at Advanced Leadership School, you now have those tools to use out in the real world and in the rest of the Young Marine program.
We all believe in you because we know you're capable of more than you know. Just take for a minute and think about how you started where you are today, and then make sure when you go back you help others achieve the same. So again, proud of all of you, amazing group of young Americans, and I look forward to seeing your success in the future in whatever you choose to do. We're here for you. We're cheering you on every day. Thank you so much.
Academy! Dismissed! Dismissed! All young Marine sergeant!
And now from here, we're having a transition. Literally, we're going to put them on planes Saturday night, and then Saturday night, we're receiving our senior seminar. Something different we did this year when we realized that a lot of our young Marines didn't get a chance for graduation, retirement ceremonies and such from across the country, and we tried to accommodate as many of them as possible here at Headquarters Young Marines. So we're bringing in a small group of a couple of dozen young Marine leaders who are seniors that are graduating, bring them here to reflect on their journey throughout the Young Marines, give us a little bit of feedback on things that were great and things that we could probably do better or improve in the future, and also give them a chance to get an appropriate send-off for their time in the Young Marines program.
The Young Marines is great because the bonds that I formed, they've been so outstanding in my life that I feel as if any moment, like if I had to go somewhere or I needed some help, I would be able to contact, I think, hundreds of Young Marines, and they'd be there for me at the drop of a hat.
The opportunities are so vast, there's so many. The best part about this program is you will go to places that you would never dream of, and meet people that you never knew existed.
This program really took me and it pushed me and it challenged me and I grew, and being able to achieve Division Yamoy was like a culmination of everything I've done in the program.
Things that they teach you, the opportunities they give you, there's so many once-in-a-lifetime opportunities that you wouldn't get anywhere else, that really it's kind of like a fever dream if you stay in long enough.
We had a very special opportunity this morning. The weather cooperated and the Young Marines were able to be promoted, discharged, and retired from our program here at an iconic image of the Marine Corps, the Marine Memorial here in Washington, D.C. And I'm joined once again, one more time, with Young Marine Sergeant Major Megan Lynch, who was part of the ceremony recipients. Megan, what'd you think?
Sir, I mean, it was a beautiful day today, and I feel so blessed and so honored to be surrounded by some of the greatest people, some of the greatest seniors in our program, and just have that one last hoorah, sir, with you and everybody else in front of this beautiful memorial.
Outstanding. And as you can hear from the clapping around us, this is one of those places in DC where Marines come to be celebrated, promoted, retired. In fact, when we were doing the ceremony, they were raising and lowering national flags to honor Marines around the country retiring, so they could have a memory, one last piece of the Iwo Jima before they go on to do whatever they're going to do in their next phase of their careers. Ladies and gentlemen, for Young Marine News Network, here live at the Marine Memorial in Arlington, Virginia.
Please always remember, Young Marines, stay passionate, positive, and productive. Hoorah!
And with that being said, I'm hoping that units across the country are going to have an opportunity to do something appropriate. I've seen some very creative ways of taking care of young Marines who are retiring or leaving the program as they journey forth from high school. Thank you for all of you for putting those together for them so that they get some kind of proper send-off as they transition out of the program and on to greater success in life. As you also know, the coronavirus impacts have varied all around the country, and one of the places that was particularly hard hit was the Navajo Nation. And that's why we had to make the decision to cancel again Navajo Code Talker Day this year. But we don't want to forget them. So many years, for over a decade, young Marines and adult volunteers have gone to Window Rock, Arizona to honor the Navajo Code Talkers, their families, and the nation for all their support to this country. And we didn't want to miss out on this year. And so we have taken upon ourselves to put together reflections and videos of what it's meant over the last decade or more of Young Marines support to honor them and tell them that we're thinking about them. And Young Marine Sergeant Major Waters, you've been working with Mr. Harrell on some of that.
Yes, sir, I have. Navajo Code Talker Day has been one of my favorite events to attend as a young Marine. I am very disappointed that we do not actually go and get to see the Navajo Code Talkers in person this year, but that's okay because we still have the opportunity to show our appreciation for them and all that they did in World War II to fight for this country. We have PAs all across the country and young Marines just putting together videos on things that they loved about Navajo Code Talker Day, their experiences, and just how they appreciate the Navajo Code Talkers.
And so a few short weeks after we get done with the senior seminar, we will be doing an adult volunteer class for a small group of adult volunteers from across the country to provide some additional training education for them to help them run great units wherever they're coming from. And then we have the DDR Dash in October and Young Marines birthday balls around the country. Hopefully many of those will be able to take place as we continue to move forward in the year, and people are doing a good job of taking care of each other and sanitizing and keeping distant, that we can start having a few activities return to normal. And please do remember to follow all federal, state, and local guidelines. The virus affects different places in different ways. We all know that as you see the nightly news. So just make sure that you're taking extra care of yourselves, your families, your young Marines, and your adult volunteers so it can be safe, happy, and we'll soon return to normal again and be able to do great activities across the country without a doubt. You know, every episode of the Young Marine News Network is special because we bring these great stories from around the country, and we go to some really fascinating locations to film. One of my personal favorites is being here at Mount Vernon, George Washington's home. Over 200 years ago, he moved here with Martha and her children, and it was all part of the foundation of our country.
There's so much rich history here, and it's just an amazing atmosphere, especially being here for a leadership school where the first leader of our country lived his life on a daily basis and resonated so many leadership qualities that we instill in the Young Marine program today.
Signing off for another special edition of Young Marine News Network. Young Marines, stay motivated, stay engaged, and keep living that healthy, drug-free lifestyle.
I'm Young Marine Sergeant Major Abigail Waters. Go forth and do great things.
Masking up and ready to go.